happened with him?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it just shows the character and fight of our footy team. And for large parts of that game, especially through the second and the third quarter, you could well and truly tell that Brisbane were on top, and they're a quality team. It was 3v4, and you could see that. And they had big momentum in the game. But for our guys, just to stay present, to stay in the now, and then to adjust and work their way back. And I think with 7 minutes to go, we're still 24 points down. To get a win, it's incredible.
Even within that last quarter, I think only 2 of your first 8 scoring shots were off, so you missed 6 of them, but to still just keep coming. Is that what you're talking about, just like the relentlessness of it?
Yeah, look, we felt early in the last quarter we started to get the game looking, and giving ourselves opportunities in the right way. And for big parts of that second and third quarter, we weren't able to do that. So the start of the last quarter was really pleasing. We were getting opportunity, we just weren't maximising. I think we probably had 3 or 4 shots at goal that just didn't look anywhere near it. And that can really deflate a team. But to our players' credit, it didn't. We just kept going. And eventually the wheel turned and we got our looks and we hit the scoreboard against a really good footy team. We've kicked 105 against the third place team. So it's pretty impressive.
How proud are you of Jake to step up when the team really needed it?
Who's that, sorry?
Jake Melton.
Oh, he's been working incredibly hard. And I said this last week. Back end of last year, he's a really crafty forward. He's a smart forward and he understands forward craft. So his form late last year was pretty pleasing for us. And early in the game, he gave himself great looks at goal. He just didn't execute. And then late in the game, to kick those 2 goals under enormous pressure, it's credit to him. It's credit to the work that he's put into his game. He's an experienced player. He helps our forward line, and he executed when the time came.
With Fritchie as well, I guess his ability to really stand up in his absence, that must be really pleasing for you as well.
Yeah, it is. Between Jake and Christian going down there, to really support that forward line. We want to get as many players down there that win contests, and obviously those 2 guys going in there to fill Bailey's absence is important for us. And both of those guys are having a significant impact. And that's going to be the way forward for us, is to see if we can maximise some of our dominance at times and hit the scoreboard.
4 goals for Christian tonight. What was it like in the coach's box trying to get that balance right between his midfield and forward time throughout the night? Because there were a lot of momentum swings.
Yeah, we said this a bit throughout the last couple of weeks, that we'll just continue to place Christian where we need him, where the game demands. And there was periods in that third quarter where we needed him in the midfield. We weren't getting supply. And part of getting supply is getting your best players around the footy, your best players in the midfield. And we needed him at that point. And then in the last quarter, we had the luxury, as we started to get more supply, that we could push him forward and impact the scoreboard. So his game's outstanding, and it's more his attitude towards it. He's just been, in terms of his selflessness, to keep giving to the team for where he needs to be. He's really important to us, and he's driving that internally.
Different ruck combination tonight without Brody Grundy. How did you see that play out?
Yeah, look, I thought Max was sensational. First and foremost, he's our skipper. We put a lot of responsibility on him to lead our ruck against a high-quality opponent. And I thought he performed sensationally. So that's the first point. But, we speak about Brody and Max as the combination, and I want to go on the record here and say we love their ruck combination. But one thing we're not going to do as a footy club is leave any stone unturned in getting better. And we want more impact forward of the ball. And the only way we're going to continue to do that is to expose them for longer. So part of the plan with Brody is to expose him at VFL footy. They've got a practice game tomorrow against St Kilda, where he'll play purely as a forward, and we'll continue to assess like that. We think we can turn that combination into a threat moving forward, and we're going to work to do it. And it doesn't have to be at AFL level. So we're still really confident that'll work. And as we get closer towards the back end of the year, we're going to need both of them up and going.
What do you need to see from Brody at VFL level? Is it scoreboard impact? Is it presenting? Is it just looking good up there? What do you need to see for him to actually get his spot back?
It's a combination of all that. The ability to work and connect with forward line, with each other, ability to hit the scoreboard, ability to compete airily. And we need both Brody and Max to be able to do that. So, as I said, we're still really optimistic moving forward, but we need to give it more exposure. And the way we're going to do that is via the VFL.
How did he take the news when you go to it?
Brilliant. Outstanding person, outstanding character. He understands he's in good form in the ruck. but he also knows that we've got a responsibility as a club to get better. And part of getting better is that forward craft, and he needs to do it. He's embracing it. He wants to do it, and he wants to be a part of it.
Is there a chance Brody's not back?
I haven't even considered that. You know, he's an important part of our footy club. You know, for not only the short term but the long term. You know, he's a big part of us moving forward, and this gives us a chance. As I said, we're not going to sit here and say we're the finished product. And part of getting towards that is continuing to find ways to improve, and part of that is evolving Brody's forward craft and Max's at times.
It's round 18 now, so are you concerned? Is there really that might be concerned
No.
you left it a bit too late?
No. It's round 7. We've got 6 games to go. Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
You spoke about supply, and when you've got the ball forward tonight, you'll feel Daniels. How much was a tip that once you did get the ball forward most of the night, the middle forward line was working?
Yeah, look, it looked you know, functional, certainly early in the game and again late in the game. Probably in that second and third quarter, I thought our entries were average. I thought, you know, Brisbane's backs, to their credit, were dominating the game, and we're having a bit of trouble getting the ball back off them. So, you know, there were certainly big parts of the game where they dominated, and there was also some periods of the game where we really dominated early in the game and certainly late in the game. And it's still a work in progress for us, but to kick 105 points against the third place team, we're doing something right.
Do you think enough's being made of Clayton Oliver's absence? Do you think people realise just how big it is him not being there and how much it is changing everything beyond Bailey Fritsch as well?
Yeah, look, you know, I think any team, when you lose one of your best players, it's a big hole in your team. You know, and he's a person that gives us enormous supply. So hence why Christian spent a big part of the last 6 weeks in the midfield is to cover for Clayton. But we've taken a risk as a coaching group, which I'm incredibly proud of, and taken both of them out of there. And we've put a lot of responsibility on Thomas Barrow, James Jordan, Angus Brayshaw, who spent a lot of time in the last 3 years out of there, to drive our midfield forward. And you know, we'll keep monitoring that and getting better at it.
With both of them out there, as you say, out of for long periods, for you to comprehensively win contested ball and clearances against, you know, one of the best midfielders in the game, that must have been a real pleasing aspect of it as well. Yeah,
it is. I think it speaks volumes for the people that we've got in there. You know, as I said, Thomas Barrow's evolved his game, and as has JJ. You know, Taj Woden's come in the team and looks lively, and obviously Cozzy Pickett going through there at times tonight. You know, we're trying to add layers to our game. He's still got a rib, so everything was cleared last week. Trained fully, just got another knock tonight. He's sore. We just need to investigate it further and make sure he's right. We can't keep subbing him every week.
He looked like he was battling most of the game. Was there sort of consideration of something earlier than he was?
Yeah.
Why didn't it happen?
Look, we just felt like we just needed to, you know, sustain it for a little bit longer, just for where the game was at, and we wanted to have some flexibility with Smithy coming on, and in the end, Smithy played both ends of the ground anyway, so it didn't really matter.
You talked about Cozzy's form during the week. Pretty pleased with how he responded tonight.
Yeah, look, there was certainly 2 weeks ago against GW West, there were signs of him coming back in some really good form up in the wet, and it probably didn't get exposed as much to Alice Springs. Last week he was really quiet, so we wanted to get him around the ball a little bit more, centre bounce, a little bit around stoppage, and also impact forward of the ball. And to Cozzy's credit, he brought in tonight and he got his 3 goals and had bigger impact up the field. So once again, it's great for Coz.
Thanks, Rudy.
Thanks, guys.